Hey, what's up, boys? Long time no see. It's yours truly, Mr. Lang, Team Wash Life. Hey, thanks a lot for the subscribers. We hit the 10,000 mark. I think we're at 10.1 now. But shout out to everybody who subscribes. I know a lot of you guys watch the channel and don't subscribe, and it grinds my gears, but to each their own. So much respect to everybody who at least gives back a little and at least gives me a subscribe. It shows a lot of support, so I appreciate that. Anyway, enough with the lovey-dovey kissy stuff. We're out here rinsing, doing some surface cleaning. Let me talk a little more about it. So I said surface cleaning. I did not mean to say that. We're doing flat work rinsing. So it's just the ball valve rinsing, getting the bulk mud up. We did go through and surface clean all this stuff either last year or the year before. I'm not 100%. But this poor sports center, family sports center, this place has been in business going almost 30 years now. And all the businesses down this road, there was a trailer park, there's a car wash. All these businesses they've moved on. The trailer park completely shut down. FEMA paid everybody out to get out of there, and now it's just like a park. Oh good, that rinsed off real well. We were in here rinsing a little bit, just seeing how things were going. But yeah, it's completely mud. I mean, it was Tuesday or Wednesday. Right now it's Friday. Tuesday or Wednesday, this whole batting cage was under. You couldn't even like get into the cage. I don't think we could step on the sidewalk at that time. Maybe the sidewalk, but that's it. A bunch of this mini golf over here was flooded, and there's the go-kart track way over there by the tree line. That floods really bad. That's the lowest point. But the clubhouse won't. It's on that's like a really high point. Anyway, so we're rinsing, and you see him over there, just the ball valve, doing a nice rinse. Devin's doing the hose management. Unfortunately, that's all we can really do. We got the squeegee out, we got the brush out, just in case we get some standing water or some thick stuff that needs to be pushed. But for the most part, he's going to be doing hose management. And I told him before we got here, it's a boring job, guys. There's one power washer, 2 guys, and only one of you can obviously use the power washer. So, John, how would you price something like this? So we've done a lot of work for this business here. I really like the business owner too. Me and him have kind of grown to know each other over the years. Last year we power washed their go-kart track 5 times. You know what I'm saying? So, being from this community, this town, and knowing the situation, knowing how it floods and it's really bad, funny story, I'll make this really brief. One of my best friends used to live in that trailer park over there that flooded all the time. And it was just a big hangout for me and my whole crew. We had like easily 10 of us that were just real close, and we all just hung out. And he had this trailer. He was a senior in high school. I was a freshman, and his brother was a sophomore, his younger brother. And their mom just like took off and basically left this trailer to a bunch of kids, and we just hung out there all the time, and it was like our spot. And I'm sorry, it was bad. Eventually there was like literally a hole that was cut out of the floor. No running water, no electricity towards the end there, because we're just a bunch of kids who don't pay bills and partied and stuff. Anyway, long story short, National Guard warned everybody, a flood's coming, the place is going to flood, it's going to go under, everybody needs to evacuate. And a few people refused to leave. They said, I'm not leaving my house for looters, and we, of course, were one of them. And we were like, we're just going to party it out. And it flooded, and it flooded, and it flooded, and it flooded all the way up to the stoop. I mean, you walked out, and the whole place was waist high. It was hilarious. And we thought it was funny. We didn't care, it's an abandoned house, essentially. And anyway, long story short, there was, I keep saying that, there was helicopters all over, and we got evacuated by boat. The National Guard evacuated us in a raft, in a boat. And there's news choppers above us, and they basically told us, if you don't live here, you have to leave. So the people that lived there stayed, I think, for a little bit, but eventually did leave, because what's the point of staying? It's flooded and you're trapped. Wow, I like to rant sometimes. Anyway, so this I'm familiar with the flooding. I'm familiar with this. This business is a awesome business for our community. It's just good family fun, and you know what I mean. So I want to help them out, and this is just a huge setback for them. When it floods like this, they have to pay out of pocket to get it cleaned up. They have to close down, and you know, they're just down. They're in the red that much more. You know, and their prices aren't super expensive. You know, people are crazy. You know, they'll still complain about the prices. I think it's like not even $7 to do mini golf, and people complain about it. But they don't realize, you know, there might be a couple rips in the mini golf thing, but it's 15 grand to get that stuff replaced. Those little, just the carpet on it. So it's tough. Long story short, it's tough. Man, I like saying that phrase today. So I said, listen, you know, I can't do it for free. I can't, you know, but I'll give you the best price I can give. You know, we're not going to make really a ton of money off of it, just enough to cover my costs and pay the guys and what have you. And you know, and I said, listen, you gotta understand that that we can produce, you know, $2,000 in a day's work. So, you know, from clock in to clock out, we can generate between $2,000 and $2,500 in revenue a day. And I said, we'll come out here for $1,000 for the whole day, you know, about 9:30, and we'll work till about 5, and we're gonna rinse it, and we're gonna get everything rinsed off. And I said, that's the best we can do. So he said it sounds good. And it's just a very honest, open, trustworthy relationship we've built. And it's gotten to the point where it's just like, you know, can you come rinse this stuff and just let me know how much it's going to be. He knows I'm not trying to make, you know, get rich off of him or take advantage of their flooding situation. And he trusts me, and it's just a good thing. And he knows a lot of people in the community. We get a lot of referrals from him now. So I just kind of wanted to talk about how I handled that situation, because it was, I think, the best way to handle it. You know, like I said, I'm not doing it for free. I'm not making as much as we could today, but we're making money, and we're helping out. And in return, he trusts us, which is huge, and gives us a lot of referrals. So some guys might be like, oh sweet, it floods, let's just charge them as much as we charge. They have to get it done. They're struck, you know, they have to get it done. Let's milk them for everything they got. That's not the right way to look at things. So it goes a long way to do the right thing. But I'm gonna get out of here. These guys are just rinsing away, and I'm gonna take off and do a couple things, and then I'll be back. But we should have all this done by about 12:30, and then we'll go do the mini golf stuff for the second half of the day. And then Monday we'll be back to do the go-kart tracks. So, bastards, man. I bought that Suburban a couple months ago because my Trailblazer took a shit. That thing ran perfect. I even took it to the mechanics. I said, check this thing out. Is it all right? And they said everything was sound. It was like a minor like tie rod or something I got replaced, but that was it. Shit you not, within a week after I bought the thing, the engine starts ticking, the lifters or something. You know damn well they put some additive in there to keep it quiet, just till long enough for someone to buy it. So can't stand that. But yeah, check this out. Super flooded. So yeah, we're just ball valving it really for the majority of it with the 8 gallon a minute. Yeah, rinsing it, pushing it. One of the problems with this track though is it still pools up even when you rinse it, like right there and over there. So for the track, I try and start a little bit at the bottom and move some of that solid stuff, get it up, and it's gonna pull up regardless. But I don't know, it's tough. It's a little tricky. I do bring the sludge sucker sometimes to try to help that out. But yeah, I mean, you can just see how bad this flooded. Look at this. So that's a bummer. It's a big bummer. It's gotta be hard, you know. I can imagine dealing with that. But they make it work, so good for them. Whoops. Check that flooding out. Wow, you know what? Just videotaping this reminded me, you see these nets here? See how tall some of them are, but that first one's wooden? Check that out and see how close it is to the road? Let me tell you a story real quick. Hold on. So that net there is for the drive range, for the golfers, you know, driving. Jeez. Guy's literally swerved in my lane. Like he's making YouTube videos and driving or something. I'm just kidding. I can focus and do this. I'm a beast. Those nets in the it was winter or something, and we had this freezing rain, and the freezing rain came down and it attached to that net, and it literally created an entire wall of ice. There's a big ice wall, and it was just ice everywhere. The roads were ice, everything was ice, and then it was windy, and the wind, it knocked that whole thing down onto the road, 64 here, and closed the road down for quite a while. We rolled up on it, remember, because like I was saying, we stayed at the park. Well, we didn't stay there, but we were always hanging out over there, and we rolled up on it, and we were like, whoa, look at this, you know, and all the fire trucks out trying to secure the scene, and they had to replace it with those big, heavy, tall metal posts. They were much taller and sturdier. So yeah, that place, it's impressive that they are still around. You know, they've had some catastrophic stuff happen to them where you think, oh, they're just gonna shut down. It's not worth staying in business, you know. And you know, a lot of people wouldn't deal with that flooding situation the way they do. You know, I think a lot of people just be like, forget this. We're gonna close shop, collect some money. But that's the other problem. The land really probably isn't worth anything with it being in a flood zone. So they're kind of stuck. But it's a really cool spot nonetheless. They hire a lot of kids in high school to help out. So it gives people, younger guys an opportunity to get in the working field and get a sense of responsibility, and it's just all good, man. It's an all around good business, and I like to help out when I can, and it's in turn it helps me out. It's not even, and it's not a selfish way of doing things at all, because we're probably the only power washers around that can handle that type of cleaning. They said they would have to do it, and it would take them like at least a week with a normal power washer, blast and stuff and whatever. So we're probably the only guys around that can handle that type of job, and they have to get it done. So I could go one route where I charge a premium price. I could say $2,000. We gotta make our day rate, or I could help them out and not get greedy, make what I want. Make a number where we're comfortable. It's not like a big payday, but employees get paid, our bills get paid, yada yada. And in turn, we get a lot of referrals. He 100% trusts me. That's how you really are doing right by your clients. We have a few clients like that, where they'll call us for a service and they say, you don't even got to give me an estimate, just come do it and then let me know what it's going to cost. And that's a really good feeling. So that's what I wanted to mention. He was asking me about the carpets on the mini golf, if we could power wash the mini golf carpets. And I said, I don't know. We haven't really. We've rinsed off stuff and we could rinse it, but the mini golf things, they have like a brick barrier around them, obviously, right, to keep the ball in the playing the putt thing. So I was like, what we'd probably have to do is rinse it out and either try to push all that water out the opening where they start, or we'd have to get our little sludge sucker and try and suck the stuff out and rinse it out. And I said, it's probably not going to be 100%, but I told him, I said, you know what we'll do is when we're out here, I'll go ahead and just do one for free. We'll test it out. We'll see how it looks, and if you're happy with the results, I'll give you a number and we'll just get them all done. But you know, he was like, okay, yeah, that's cool, that's a good idea. But in between the time I had talked with him, which was Tuesday or something this week, and now it's Friday, in between that time and now, so 4 days, he had a carpet company come out here, small company, probably like an owner-operator situation, similar to mine, maybe a truck or two. And he gave him a price, and he did a demo for him, and he was real happy with how it turned out. And he said he named his price, he paid him, and the owner of the place, the carpet place, told him, I'll probably be here at about 8. I'll work till about 8 and get these all cleaned up, as best I can. Joe, the guy who hired him to clean the carpets, had left, and he said as soon as he left, the guy flew through him and left. He checked his cameras at 4:30, and the guy was gone. He'd already left. 4 hours. He left 4 hours early just because he wasn't being watched, and that's his business. So it blows my mind there's people out there like that, and there's probably people watching this channel that might be like that. Who knows? I'm not saying you are, but if the shoe fits, you better lace that motherfucker up and own it. But if I guess what I'm trying to say is, when I started my business, I know I'm harping on this topic, and I'm sure I've lost a lot of people's attention, but when I started my business, I saw a lot of talk in the forums of these guys making $2,500 a day easy, $3,000, $3,500 a day easy, not even breaking a sweat. We charge premium prices. We know our stuff. We are the Cadillac limited edition series, whatever, and it's like, I get it, but you can't just say you're a premium service and charge a premium service, right? You gotta reflect that. That means, like top of the line vehicles, no rust, nothing's leaking, professional uniforms, clean cut, professional appearance. You gotta get down on your knee and tie their shoes for them if they ask, type stuff. Maybe not that intense, but some guys say they're premium service, and it's almost like you come off offensive in a way to the client. It's like, well, what's so premium about you? Because you emailed me my estimate, because you put together, that's not nothing. How was your follow-up? Did you answer my call, my initial response within 24 hours? Were you on it? Were you just a force to be reckoned with? Then, and if you really want, if that's your motto you're shooting for, then yeah, charge your premium prices. You earned it. You guys got everything dialed into a T. But don't be afraid to charge less. No, don't go out there and be the $99 quote unquote and just try to take over and ruin the market by washing as many houses as you can for next to nothing. But maybe you're starting off in your business and somebody calls you for to get their siding. They only want the green side done. It's okay to say, yeah, we'll come out. Listen, I got $100 minimum. I can't just come out for nothing. But if you want me to come out, and I tell our setup time takes a minute, or chem, or whatever. I'll come out. We'll wash the side for $100. Tell them stuff like that, or don't get stuck in your ways of charging the premium price all the time. Try and be a human and recognize with people, and recognize, shitty situations like the one we're doing now, and do what you can to help. And that's what it is, And you got to just figure this stuff out on your own. Now, there's a difference between the little old lady who's in retirement. She's a widow, and she's on a fixed income, and she wants the premium window cleaning, but she can only afford $100. But she opens her garage and she's got a 2019 Audi 7-speed stick shift, 80 years old, heading to the nail salon. You gotta peep out the people who are just manipulative too. So alright, I think I've harped on this topic enough. I'm going to hop in here and hop on my computer, and when I say hop, I mean literally. I'm going to hop out of here I'm gonna do a couple hops, hop up the stairs 2 feet at a time, and get to it. I'm gonna check on the guys here about lunchtime. Things are going good for us though, boys. We're staying busy, and you know, I just wanted to get a YouTube video out. I've just been trying to prioritize things, and right now, or at the time, our business really needed some help. It needed me to focus and get some systems in place and get you guys trained better, hold everyone accountable, check up on things, and I think we're in a really good spot right now, and we're going to keep going in this direction. But I can't make YouTube videos about small business and how to crush it and meet your goals and take over and blah 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 when my business is struggling itself. So we're in a good spot, and I feel good giving advice on things or talking on topics. But when I'm in a bad spot, I feel like I need to figure things out, and then I'll come back and talk about how I figured it out type thing. You dig? Yours truly, Mr. Lang. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't, you already know, man. You are literally dead to me. Lose my number.